All right. I think we still have a couple other people joining us, which is awesome. So my name is Julie Bowditch, as some of you know, because we've exchanged emails or talked on the phone. And I appreciate all of you joining us today, and hopefully you'll find this helpful. We want to hear from you just as much as you may have questions for us. So by all means, this is intended to be interactive and informal, and we want to be helpful, but we also know that you guys have some great ideas up your sleeves too. So we're excited to hear about them. And Erin, did you want to introduce yourself as well?
Sure. So I'm Erin Phipps. I work in the advancement office at UMass as well with Julie, and I manage the sponsorships for the Cancer Walk. So all of the corporate supporters that we have that kind of go along with the team and individual supporters. So of our many corporate sponsors that we have so far, Shauna is representing Rockland Trust, and she's on the call today, and we're so appreciative to have Rockland Trust as one of our sponsors. So thank you so much. And so that's what I do.
Awesome. Yeah. And then Nina, I'm just going to go, I know everyone's order is probably different than mine, but I'll just go in order so I don't miss anyone. Nina, do you mind introducing yourself? Oop, you're on mute still, Nina. Sorry, I'm trying to unmute you.
There we go. Better? Okay.
Yep.
I'm Nina Millette, and I work for Dr. Michael Green in the molecular cell and cancer biology. He's also part of the Cancer Center. So we as a team try to fundraise big every year. Normally we have our big craft fair and raffles, but this year obviously we can't. So we've tried to do some other, virtual fundraising. So.
And I'm going to hopefully circle back to some of your ideas in a second,
Sure.
Nina. Thank you. And Udayan, am I saying your name correctly?
Yes, Udayan.
Oh, good. Okay. Welcome.
Yeah. So Manisha isn't here, but I'm Udayan Kamerkar. This is our 11th year of participating in the Cancer Walk. Before
Wow.
I did 12 years of Jimmy Fund, and that got to be a little too long. So, so 5 miles was better. And I think every year we've been raising over $1,000 between the two of us. So I think I'm up to 500 and something now. And we got a little ways to go. I know a few more checks that are coming in.
That's great. Yeah, and I know you had
checks.
a couple questions about that, so we're definitely going to talk about that as well.
Right. I have a couple of checks sitting here, so I'm going to get those. I used to bring them down and give them to Beth in the walk office, because it's only about, 3 minutes from here for me to go to the walk office. So, that's important thing. I want my T-shirt to add to my collection.
Yes. I should hopefully have answers for you on both of those things. So I bet some other people are wondering as well. And Philip? Oh, you're on mute, Philip.
Yeah, so I'm Dave Phillips, actually. That's my login ID is Philip D1. So, yeah, so I work for Healthcare Financial Solutions in the Straff Center in Charlestown. And so I've been coordinating fundraising activities for, I'm a benefit coordination manager, but I've been coordinating fundraising for the Cancer Walk for probably, 6 or 7 years now. So it'd be interesting to get your ideas as to how we, fundraise remotely, since nobody's working in the office right now. So
it's very different for sure.
Different way of doing things, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you'll get some good ideas today too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And Shauna.
Hi guys, my name is Shauna Hazen. I am working for Rockland Trust, like Erin said. So Erin, it's nice to see you actually, like your face on the email address. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I have participated in the Cancer Walk for probably 10 plus years, but this is our first year doing it for Rockland Trust. I left a previous company, so now I am running it here for Rockland. And we're very excited to be involved. So hopefully we'll come up with some extra good ideas today and get the ball rolling for you guys.
Thank you. We're excited to have Rockland on board.
For
Sarah.
sure.
So, hi everyone. I'm Sarah. I handle all of Team Absolute here at Absolute Group of Companies in Worcester. This is our 14th year walking. We're very excited. We are the reigning champs of the team challenge, so we have a big year ahead of us for fundraising. It'll be tricky, but hopefully we can hang on to the trophy.
That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And actually, I think Tina's joining us right now. So I think Nanette is on the call as well. She works with Erin and I, but I don't know if she's just listening in or if she wants to introduce.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I actually work with Julie and Erin on the Cancer Walk. I also have a team known as Bobby's Bullpen, who's been very involved. My son had been diagnosed with cancer as an infant and is now 20 years old. So we have been doing fundraising for the Cancer Walk. Oh, I can't remember how many years. Before that, we also had done some fundraising for the medical center to improve the medical and entertainment equipment on the clinical system. So we've been very tied to this event for many years. We enjoy it. We've done a water stop. I don't know if you've ever been by our water stop as the superheroes, but we've always had a lot of fun with this event and we're very emotionally tied to it. And we typically start our team in mid-August when Bobby was diagnosed, the date Bobby was diagnosed. So you haven't seen our team up and running yet, but we look forward to coming up with a lot of creative ideas to support this very important endeavor in funding cancer research, because we know that's why Bobby is still here, and we want everybody to be able to say they were a cancer survivor. So we are very driven by that mission. And I welcome all of you. I'm excited to see what you all come up with and hear from you. And as I start every meeting, let's go. We got a cancer walk coming, people. Woo!
She really does.
Every meeting.
Every meeting.
She also usually, and I think she is rocking a Cancer Walk shirt as well.
And if you really hit a milestone, you get to hear this.
Lucky us.
I love cowbells. I'm all in on that.
My big decision every day is what color Cancer Walk t-shirt should I wear today? Today's kind of a red day.
That's awesome.
But yeah, welcome all aboard. We really appreciate your involvement.
Definitely. And I know Tina joined us a couple minutes ago, so hopefully she can hear us. And if you want to introduce yourself, Tina. She might just be listening.
Hello.
Oh,
There she is.
hi.
Hi.
Did you want to introduce yourself? There's a few of us on that, we had just very briefly said, what team we're with or what our role is in the walk.
I've been doing this walk, well, it would have been 22 years, but now we're virtual. I've been doing it 20 years in my mom's memory, and I did it with her for 2 years as a cancer survivor. She worked at UMass, and now I work at UMass. I've been here for the last 4 years.
Wow.
So it's sad that we're not doing it this year, but virtually is fine as well.
Yep, you still get to count your 22nd year. Don't worry, Tina.
Yes, yeah.
For sure. And I think that we just had someone else join, Benjamin. And I don't know if you can hear us or not.
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. Hello. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you were able to join us. Did you want to introduce yourself?
Benjamin Upati Singh. I work at CITC, which is over on Front Street. It's my first time doing the walk, and now being virtual, I just have some questions about how to share it and things like that.
Good, good. I hope we can answer them. And welcome, and thank you for being part of the event.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And we have a special guest that's joining us right now, who is a chair of our walk committee. I think he's just connecting to audio, but Rich Carr just joined us. So we'll give him a minute to get connected. And then if he wants to introduce himself, it's perfect timing. Can you hear us, Rich? We'll give him a second to get settled.
I think
So,
I'm here now.
oh, there he is. Hi, Rich.
Hey, hi, Julie. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thanks so much for joining.
I'm technologically challenged here.
Oh, you're doing all right.
Audio only for the moment, but glad to be here. It's wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Rich is the chair of our steering committee for the walk, and he gets a wave of Nanette's cheerleader pom-pom for that. So we have such a great group with us, and I'm very excited to hear your ideas and to hopefully answer all of your questions too. And we'd love to hear from you guys, you know, how often we can do these, as often as weekly or every other week, or you know, we can dedicate particular weeks to particular topics or questions or ideas, you know, but we really want to make this work for you guys. So, and we can also look at other times of day if that's better for people. So, you know, please, by all means, give us that feedback. We'll love to hear it. I wanted to just talk about a couple of quick things, and then there are a couple of people who wanted to share some ideas and some thoughts with us, which I really appreciate. So, you know, I just wanted to start by saying, of course, thank you to all of you for being part of the event. I know this year is extra special, but also extra challenging. And we really appreciate everyone sticking with us. Obviously, as all of you know, because you're here, but as also been our mantra that, you know, cancer doesn't observe pandemics. It doesn't observe, you know, any convenience or inconvenience of ours. So, you know, it's just something that we have to still continue to fight and continue to raise money for research and clinical trials. So it's never been more important, you know, than before, because, you know, I think there are a lot of distractions and there are a lot of challenges in the world right now for everybody. And so we just can't let cancer take a back seat as far as, you know, raising funds for it and keeping it a priority in everyone's mind. So it's very encouraging that you're all still with us, and that we're all in this fight together. So we appreciate that. And I just wanted to, hopefully all of you are getting, you know, a variety of different correspondences, emails from me and from the walk, but also, you know, if you're following us on social media, hopefully you're able to see some interesting and useful information. And one of the things that we're doing right now that I'm really excited about is our July fundraising contest. And that is for every $500 that you raise as an individual. So it's not a team contest, but that will be coming up in August. So we'll talk more about that. But this is an individual fundraising contest. So for every $500 you raise, you'll be entered into a drawing for a big prize pack. It's all local businesses that contributed to it. And it's now up to over $800, the value of it. So there's a whole bunch of different gift cards, but it's a really good prize. So, you know, really all you have to do is raise $500. But if you were to raise $1,000, for instance, you'd be entered twice, $1,500, you know, 3 times, and so forth. So, you know, let your teammates know, but by all means, keep sharing your pages. And I know, Udayan, I know you just hit the $500 mark, for instance, so you're going to be in the raffle, and hopefully there will be lots of others as well. So that's a July contest. And then in August, like I mentioned, we'll have a team contest as well. So we'll be unveiling that shortly. And then the other thing is for the first 100 team leaders who create their teams, which I believe all, if not most of you are team leaders, you'll be receiving a custom Cancer Walk face mask in the mail from us. So you can be looking out for those. They're pretty cool. And unfortunately, I think they'll be getting a lot of love this year. So we've got you covered, literally, I guess. So look out for those. And then the other thing we're doing, and this hopefully will answer a couple of questions that we've been getting, is our t-shirts this year are going to be really special. They're going to have our 2020 logo on them, which has the Your Place, Your Pace updated logo to sort of represent our virtual vibes. And so those are really, really nice. They're the nice soft cotton this year. So we'll be mailing those out to everyone who raises $100. or more on their pages, which again, it looks like you're in good company here, because I know a lot of you have been working really hard on your fundraising numbers. So also, those haven't been ordered yet. We'll also make sure that you get your right size and we have your right address and all that. But so shirts will be coming to everyone who raises, their $100 or more. So that is something to look forward to as well. Does anyone have any questions about the July contest, the face mask promotion, or the shirts? We'll share with you the design and everything like that shortly too. We also have, if you were into this, we also have a huge merchandise store as well that's new this year, Northeast Promotion and Apparel. Many of you have probably seen it, but they have all kinds of things on their store for us, including like zip ups, hoodies, running shorts, hats, all kinds of really cool merchandise. And they're actually donating their, the proceeds of all those sales back to the event, which is really cool as well. So if you were looking for things besides the shirts that that you can earn for the $100 fundraising, I can easily direct you to that merchandise store as well. And they are also for free are designing any team shirts this year. If you wanted to update your team shirt design, they have offered to do the designs for free if you wanted to order those through them. So they're really great to work with, and I would be happy to put you in touch with our contact there if you wanted to, have a personal introduction as well. So by all means, let me know. And then I wanted to address the question about checks, Udayan, that you had, and I bet others have as well. If you have checks, or even, on the instance that you might have cash that someone gives you, sometimes, Rich has a handful of checks for us, and I know Udayan has some too. So if you happen to have those, I'm happy to either come to you and pick them up. I can meet you somewhere and get them from you, or you can always mail them to our office, which Udayan, you said you know where it is, but it's at 333 South Street. So in Shrewsbury, and I can send around the address to that if you're not sure. You can always mail those. We check the mail several times a week and take deposits multiple times a week as well of donations, so they are still safe, even though we're working from home primarily. So let's see here. Are there any other questions that I didn't answer just right out of the gate?
This is Benjamin. I have some questions related to what you just said. So I was on the site and I wanted to look at all the apparels, and it keeps giving me error. And what I discovered is it doesn't work on Internet Explorer. You have to actually you have to open the site up in, I tried it in Chrome and it worked, but it didn't say anywhere that you need to use Chrome, or, you can't use Internet Explorer. It gives you the kind of error that you don't know what to do. You don't know to go to Chrome to get it to work.
That's very helpful to know. Thank you for sharing that.
And you mentioned something about payment. So I have a lot of my friends are overseas. So a friend from back home tried to use her credit card to make a donation. It wouldn't take it. And I don't know if there's a block or anything or for overseas credit card. But
that's a good question. That's something that I can look into. Was she making it on your page? Do you know?
Yeah.
She was. Okay. So do you mind sending me an email when we're all finished and we can make sure that we connect with your friend? We can always take her payment through our office directly if there's any type of international processing issue, which I honestly don't know the answer. There shouldn't be, but that doesn't mean that there isn't. So we can sort that out for sure. I will share my email address in the chat right now so that anyone who wants to copy it while we're talking can do that, and we'll make sure that we sort that out and get it credited to your page.
Okay. Well, I emailed the Cancer Walk email, but haven't heard back.
I will take a look then. That is perfect.
But it's okay. I'll email you too, and I give you the screenshot of what she got. But having like something like PayPal as an option might work well because globally people can just use PayPal to pay for things. So
yes, that's a really good suggestion as well. You know what? We're looking into a few different things for integrations as far as payment options. So that's a really good point that you bring up. So we'll let you know as things evolve with that. UMass is notably slow when it comes to auditing different payment systems, but that doesn't mean that we don't still pursue them and explore them. So we'll just continue to do that, and we'll try to offer as many options as we can. But in the meantime, we'll make sure that I'll look for your email, and we'll make sure we get it sorted out.
Julie,
Okay.
we received that email and one other this morning about overseas payments, so we should check into that.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks, Nanette. Yes, we'll take a look, and we can connect as well. So, and you know what? Udayan just reminded me that he had emailed me last night, and I meant to reference this. There's no place on our current Classy site for each of you to enter offline donations. That's true. So some of you might have remembered, because you've been with us for many years, that First Giving was a platform we used for a while, and I believe it did have that option, but Classy does not. However, that being said, we want to make sure you all your fundraising is reflected on your pages and that you're getting credit and all that. So what we do is I actually enter every check or cash or offline donation that we get. I'll enter it onto your page so that it will show up from that donor. So as soon as we, connect about the checks and stuff, Udayan, we'll make sure that all of that info is on your page as well.
That's a lot of work, Judy. That's a lot of
Okay,
work for you to do.
I do not
By
mind.
the way, hi, Rich.
Hi.
Yes, it's wonderful. We appreciate getting the checks and the donations. So it's work I certainly am grateful to have. So thank you. And we'll connect on those checks too, Uday, and we'll make sure they get on your page. So does anyone else have questions about any of those things or something else? And you can just—
I was hoping to hear maybe Julie, some ideas from folks if they have any really creative ways to maybe fundraise in the middle of a pandemic. That's going to be, I'm sure it's coming up, but that's what I'm excited to hear.
Definitely. So you know what, Nina actually was prepared to share. She is really, I call her the behind the scenes team manager of Dr. Michael Green's team, and they've been a team for quite some time, and they've always done some really— I'll let her talk about the things that they used to do, and then now really just needing to be creative and pivot to less in-person ideas. So Nina, if you don't mind sharing some things.
Nope. I did have a PowerPoint, but for whatever reason, I can't share my screen on my iPad. So if you want, I can give you my email address or send me in, and I can send you out all of my information.
Oh, thank you for doing that.
Yeah. So normally what we would do is we host a big craft fair, and we charge vendors, and we would use the vendor money as a donation. So we would use the money for whatever they were, how many tables they would want. And then we host a huge, huge raffle. Unfortunately, this year we can't. We don't want to ask people for donations in this time of year when people are struggling. So we did some other thinking, and we've come up with a cash calendar. Kind of, my son used to do it when he was in hockey, and you'd send, people would buy calendars, and you would have a raffle and, win money. So if we sell 108 calendars at $20 each, we'll get about $1,000. So we've started that one, which is, that's ongoing right now.
Nina, let me just jump in there for a minute, because I was the president of the Junior Sharks Youth Hockey League, and we would raise $50,000 to $70,000 every year on the calendar raffle. It was really successful.
So I'm really excited. I sent out to all of my teammates, and we're going to start advertising on Monday, for that. And we figured we'll start picking names or numbers in September when the cancer walk is, really prevalent. So hopefully people will get really involved at that point, which will be good.
Awesome idea.
I'm also running
and I am your first
yes.
customer.
Well, I'll send you the information of today as well.
Thank you.
We're also running a virtual Facebook Pampered Chef Party, which is good because you can, I've got friends and family I've sent information to, and that has caused a lot of interest, which is great. And I've had all of my team members give the link and put on their Facebook pages. And I've asked Julie if she would put it on the Cancer Walk page as well. So we're doing that. 18% of all sales will go to the Cancer Walk. instead of getting prizes or free Pampered Chef. All that money will go towards the Cancer Walk. So I think that's pretty good. I'm excited about that. And then our third one is Scrub a Dub Car Wash offers a online virtual fundraiser. You create a page, you send out the link to all of your friends. If they buy online a car wash, you get 50% of the money back. We did that last year and we made about $200 on that last year. Hopefully this year we can do more. One we were thinking about doing but not so sure is Little Caesars. You can buy, they have a fundraising pizza promotion where you can buy frozen pizzas and make, or pizza nights. The only problem with that is they'll deliver to one place and I'm not sure how people will feel about coming and picking up pizzas. So we've kind of put that one on hold, but it's something to think about.
These are great ideas. Yeah, you guys have been so creative. I know you kind of had this routine going in years past, things that really worked well. And I know you just had to really be creative, and you guys have really been exemplary as far as just showing that it can still be done. And, you know, there are ways to ask for money without directly asking for money. That's okay too. But, you know, sometimes people are just looking for an activity or, you know, something to do at home or with their family, especially now. So I love those ideas. You know, online sales are where it's at, really. I think these are great ideas. Thank you so much, Nina. Does anyone have questions?
You're welcome. So if anybody wants,
about, well, I was,
if there's any questions, or if not, you can email me.
That would be awesome. And you know, we can share Nina's email as well. And I know she's put a lot of hard work into just making this happen and kind of keeping the team going. And so I've been really impressed by that. And I really appreciate you sharing that today, Nina, as well. Does anyone have questions about Nina's ideas specifically, or just things to piggyback off that, ideas that they've been implementing or thinking about doing but not sure? Feel free to share or ask. I know that the other thing I meant to share with you guys, so I'm glad that Nina's pizza idea actually reminded me of it. Many of you are probably familiar with Voltarno Pizza on Shrewsbury Street. So they're big supporters of UMass, and I was able to connect with the owners there, and they're actually going to host for us a virtual pasta making class late in August. Yep, so anyone can participate. They're going to donate all the proceeds to the walk, but Erin and I both actually participated in one of their earlier pasta making classes. I think it was probably back in April when we were like truly trapped inside and like bad weather and everything was crazy. And it was phenomenal. It was so much fun, and you got so much food out of it. It was just really engaging, and it was just something I had never done before. So it was a blast, and I thought of them right away. And so we're excited for that. So when we have a date, we'll obviously share with everyone as well. But that's a really fun partnership that we're excited about as well. David, you said, can we use Venmo to donate to the Cancer Walk? And that, I think, goes along with a question about PayPal. So we don't have a Cancer Walk Venmo account, but that's something I would like to look into a little bit further, because I think it is just something that people are really comfortable doing, and especially no one's using cash, these days especially, except for Shauna probably is having a different experience with cash because she's at a bank. But yeah, let me look into that, both PayPal and Venmo, and see if there isn't a way that we can't make that possible for people. I think it would be a good option, at least. I would say this for the time being, David, that if your supporters wanted to Venmo you, it would be basically the same as them giving you cash or a check, and then you could just cash it out. And basically, going back to what we were saying before, you could just write us a check or cash it out, and I can meet up with you, or you can mail it to us. So that could be an option too. I know, in fact, that just happened to me yesterday with somebody who wanted to support, and they just weren't near a computer or whatever. And they said, well, I'll just Venmo you. So I'm just going to make the donation on their behalf, which is great, very much appreciated and very creative, frankly. So, feel free to offer that option to your supporters, as long as you're comfortable kind of, being the middleman with the Venmo transactions in the meantime.
Yeah, we've been doing that for donating flowers for different occasions that have happened recently. So, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really great idea, and I'm glad you brought it up because honestly, who doesn't have Venmo, right? It's just
I don't. I never did.
I guess that's why you're asking, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great idea, and I would say the same for Apple Pay or PayPal or whatever your supporters are using. If someone on your team has an account and they don't mind, being the recipient for those team donations, then you can just cash them out and just make sure you write down what the donors' names are, and then we'll put it on your page for you. So you'll still be able to see it on Classy and everything. So that's a really great suggestion. So any other questions about virtual fundraising? And we can always come back to it too if you think of things, but I wanted to give Shauna a chance as well to talk a little bit about, Shauna is representing Rockland Trust, who's one of our sponsors this year. And she has a lot of experience with coordinating, not only managing people, but also being a team leader and kind of just really motivating people and incentivizing them. And she has some really creative ideas there. Currently in the running to be our largest team. They're getting up there, so they have some stiff competition, but I know that they're recruiting their team really hard, and I wanted to give her a chance to just share some of what they've sort of implemented, which I think is really clever as well.
Oh, you froze on me, Julie.
Yeah, me too.
Am I back or no?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think so.
Oh,
okay, there you are.
Sorry, your introduction got interrupted, but anyway.
It's okay. I don't need too much of a big one.
Sorry for that.
So, like Julie said, I am representing Rockland Trust. Rockland has not done this event in the past, but I have done it for several years with my previous company. So it's not really my first rodeo, but as the world is different, we have to be different as well. So a little bit about what we're doing here with Rockland is a large company. We're only in Massachusetts. We have over 100 branches, plus our mortgage centers, our commercial centers. So we do have ultimately around 3,000 employees. Almost are not near us, but that's fine though, because this is virtual. So I'm targeting every single employee with the company. The virtual aspect of it makes it so much easier to share it, spread it. They can take a walk on the Cape. It doesn't matter where they are. They could be in downtown Boston office. What we are doing is Rockland has we call it RockFit. It is a corporate fitness webpage, and you get points which turn into money, cash prizes, gift cards, days off. So they're putting this event on our RockFit webpage for people to sign up to also give them a little bit more incentive to go get moving, help fundraising, be part of the team, be part of the group, support, UMass Cancer Walk. Right now we do only have 8 people. That's okay. We will have a lot more. It hasn't been shared with the whole company quite yet because we're working some ins and outs to see if we can do anything else for UMass along the line, share it, social media, stuff like that. So right now, that's the best that we can do is just get everybody in the company involved. You're on mute.
I sure am. Thank you. Yeah, you guys are off to a really good start. And is it premature for me to ask you to share your incentive idea?
Which one?
Oh,
no, that's okay.
Okay. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but.
No, I have so many things going on. I forgot which one we're doing for this. So in the bags that Julie's shipping out, we are providing little hand sanitizers, which is cute. Everybody needs them. They're pocket size, so they are like half this size. They're really cute. But within the bag also is going to be like a promotional item, and we are raffling off a Yeti cooler. I don't have a picture of it here, or I don't know where it is. It's in the building somewhere, but everybody wants a Yeti. It's an awesome cooler. I kind of want one myself. So it's just like an extra add-on to get people moving and going and doing things. And I don't think I had another thing, did I? Sorry, I have a lot going on.
I think that was what we had talked about. Yeah.
I
But I
think
thought that
so.
was super creative. Because like Shauna said, who doesn't want, I mean, really just winning anything is awesome, right? But especially a Yeti cooler. And I think this is going to be the summer of backyard parties and and hopefully a lot of you received your Cancer Walk koozies in the mail with your team leader kit. And if you haven't yet, you will soon. So, you know, that kind of goes along with the whole theme of backyard parties. So thank you so much, Shauna, for sharing that. And thank you for, you know, really just getting your team going. I think, you know, there was something I wanted to share with everyone that Erin and I, you know, spent a good portion of the spring talking to other organizations who obviously are having to go virtual as well, and just brainstorming with them. And also, you know, on all these webinars with these experts who are saying, try this, or, you know, do this, or, you know, some of these events have already happened. So we're very fortunate in that sense because we can learn from them. And we're, you know, we're still about 8 weeks out, which is actually very soon and crazy to think about, but yeah, 8 weeks. So, but one of the things that really stuck with me that I think Erin and I were both on in this group, when somebody said, you know, people won't donate to you if you don't ask them, right? They're not just going to throw money at you, as much as we would love that. So sometimes we do feel, I think, a little bit maybe anxious or sensitive, which, as we should be sensitive to people's circumstances relative to, you know, the economy and the pandemic and so forth. I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, you know, I think cancer has affected so many people at this point that people do want to support it. And I think that giving them the opportunity to do that is still as important as ever. You know, I think we're the ambassadors, right, for this event and for this mission. And so I think what I took away from that was like, just ask, right? Because if someone can't support you, that's okay. It's always been okay, and it always will be okay for someone to say no, whether they have a different priority or whether they're, you know, in a situation right now financially or whatever the case may be. Saying no is always an option, but they won't say yes if we don't ask them, right? So I think that that's an important little anecdote that I really resonated with me as a fundraiser and as somebody who's really invested in this event, and seeing it still thrive, even though it's going to look a little different this year, right? And so hopefully we have some really creative things up our sleeves that will hopefully make us feel still, you know, connected and together and engaged, even though we won't see each other. But we are excited to see, you know, everything from your selfies with your masks and your shirts. And yeah, Rich, go ahead, please.
I'd love to add on to just what you said is the two things, and Rockland Trust, nice.
Yeah.
Everybody's so desperate to want to be part of something these days, and this is something you can be part of. Just this group together here on Zoom, you could have a fundraiser with Zoom. Everybody brings their favorite craft beer and gets to talk about it for a minute, and they donate $100 to come on. But asking is obviously the first part of this. The second part of it, at least this year for some reason, more than others, I find that people turn around and go, well, how much? And for me anyway, if you're a donor, if you've already committed in your head, I'm going to donate X number of dollars, one of the things you can do to kind of bring people together and also set a bar for them to help them with that decision is those team t-shirts, correct me if I'm wrong, are $15. They're $15. So if you were going to donate, just say hypothetically $150, you could buy 10 t-shirts with some funny saying on it. You get to pick, by the way, and they'll really help you design. In fact, I finished my order, and within 5 minutes, the owner of the company was emailing me asking a few questions about what I submitted. So they could design something, and when someone turns to you and says, okay, I really want to support you, I mean, it's a great cause, but they're donating because of the relationship they have with you, and they say, how much? And you want to give them, you know, well, whatever you can afford, but you know, folks who do $100 get a t-shirt, a team t-shirt. And if that's a number you can afford, or $50, whatever you decide, you could actually leverage the dollars you were thinking of donating into. In my example, if I said to everyone, $40, you get a t-shirt, I get 10 people to write a t-shirt, a $40 check. I've got $400 for those 10 people, and my $150 donation I just leveraged into $400. So just something to think about. Those little incentives that make people feel part of something in the midst of this terrible set of circumstances, I think is a really powerful thing. And Nina's idea is the same way. If you're joining online virtually to do it, so be it, but you still get to have conversation with people who are like-minded and make it fun. So ask, and if needed, have a dollar amount already in mind that you can say, well, here's the amount we'll if you do this, we'll give you a t-shirt or something. And that makes it easier for people, I think, to write the check.
Yeah, I think those are really good points, Rich. I agree that people, sometimes they need like that next level of direction really to kind of execute. And the other thing I say really frequently is don't let it go out of their mind, right? Because there's lots of times that friends of mine, I'll see you say on Facebook that they're fundraising for something that's really important to them. And I think to myself, oh, mental note, I need to make a donation later on, you know? And then what do you think happens? The day is over with, I totally forgot. But then if I see it a couple days later, I say, oh my gosh, I meant to make that donation, I gotta do it. And so the more you, I think, remind people, you know, gently, it just stays front of their mind. And it's not that they are, you know, intentionally ignoring you or declining necessarily. They just maybe haven't had a chance to act on it yet. They saw it at the wrong time. They were waiting for an oil change and they couldn't get to their computer or whatever, it doesn't matter. But keeping it, you know, on their mind is definitely effective.
Think outside the box. I just want to add, because in the midst of this, there are certainly people suffering, and I'm very sensitive to that. There's an economic impact. There are people thriving. There are attorneys who do mortgages are getting swamped with business. The one that strikes me as the oddest, that it doesn't really occur to me, but it's so logical, garden centers are absolutely busier than they've ever been, and selling flowers and mulch and all of these places. If a business makes a donation, by the way, not only do they get a marketing benefit, it's fully tax deductible to the business. It isn't to most of us because we don't itemize on our tax return anymore. So it's like 40 cents, 50 cents on the dollar for those businesses. So maybe if you know anybody, even out in the periphery, that might be benefiting from the current circumstances and has a business that you might know or happen to do business with, it's worth asking, because asking is awkward. And when you're a committee member, you're not asking for $40, you're asking for $20,000. You get used to it after a while, because if you believe in the cause, it's something that you do with it's a little easier to stomach, I think. So nobody likes rejection, but set the bar higher. I think you'll see people writing bigger and bigger checks too.
Right. And also, I just wanted to add too, Rich Card generously used his $20,000 to help us promote getting more fundraising dollars in. That was hugely successful. People like to be part of those things. So thank you, Rich. Yeah. But you can also use the merchandise store. You can use all the social promotions that Julie's putting out on social media. If you let your people know that you'd like to win that and maybe even gift it to somebody, you can use that type of thing to generate dollars for your team. So you don't always have to do all the work, but if you go on and use social media as a way to fundraise, people love things. So they're willing to jump onto and support your team to help you be successful.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think just giving people the opportunity and really structuring it for them is kind of like the name of the game this year, right? Yep. You know, you're asking them for something, but you're also giving them the next steps so that they can really, you know, act on it. I think it's important to have that, we call it a call to action. You know, everyone's probably familiar with that, but, you know, I think it's important, right? Because you can talk about how much this matters to you, and it's clear that all of you are passionate about this. You wouldn't be here otherwise. And you're all really successful at supporting the event, but that's for a reason, right? So I think that passion shows through, and really giving people that actionable step is so important. So those are really good points. And I know Udayan, I think you said you had to jump off in a minute, but I wanted to make sure to see if did you have anything else that you wanted to, nope, you're good. Okay. Just wanted to double check. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. A couple other people had to join other calls as well. And I don't intend to necessarily eat up your entire lunch hour, no pun intended. But you know, I am certainly happy to spend more time. Do people have specific questions? Doesn't have to be about what we talked about, but maybe something jogged your memory, or been hatching a plan and you needed to shape it a bit or anything to that effect, please jump in, because, this is intended to be, to hear from you as much as it is to hopefully, offer some feedback. So I don't want to cut anyone short if there are questions. I wanted to just say, to piggyback on what Nanette started to say, how much we appreciate Rich being the steering committee chair, as well as our lead sponsor, and that match was something brand new that we've never done before, and it really took off. And it was, all because of Car Financial Group making that happen. And Rich's passion, I know a lot of you have probably seen like our kickoff video and some of the videos from past events and so forth, but Rich is a perfect example of someone whose passion is evident in every way for this event. He talks the talk, he walks the walk, he puts his money where his mouth is, and it really shows. And you can see how that really motivates people who may have never met him, or like he mentioned, some people that maybe he went to school with years and years ago, but you can just really see how that resonates with people.
So let me tell you that I did the little talk that was sort of unscripted and unprepared at the kickoff last year, and got emotional. And I talked about Henry Carr, and he's not related to me. But I didn't want it to seem like it was preconceived. It was off the cuff. But I said in that presentation, his picture stays on my desk. I see it every day. And here's Henry, and he was a sophomore and died 3 years ago. And he's here with me every day. And he's just one of the people who are taken too soon. I'm right now talk weekly with a gentleman who's in his 40s, who's got 3 beautiful young boys, and he has pancreatic cancer and not expected to survive. And I think once you've gone through it, people tend to migrate to you to ask for advice and kind of outlook and where do you turn, even when it's cancers that were completely different than the one that person may have had. So that's why I think I end up meeting a lot of these folks, but it is an incredible tragedy. And as fast as we're putting together this vaccine for the pandemic, which is remarkable and wonderful, and all the government dollars, if we got through the pandemic and the government would throw half that money at cancer research, we wouldn't need pediatric oncology anymore. And people's lives would be far better off. So it is meaningful, and I think it is a really odd set of circumstances this year, but you guys have done a remarkable job with communicating with potential donors, past participants, using social media, keeping in touch, making us feel like we're part of something. And that, I think, is going to pay dividends. It'll be this year, but also in years going forward. People will really feel connected, and you've done a wonderful job with that.
Thank you. We have a great team and we have a great committee. So we're very, very fortunate. Thank you, Rich. Yeah, so I just wanted to give everyone a chance, if anyone had anything to share, ask. I know, Sarah, I know your team is another exemplary team. You've been our champions in the past, and I know you guys are a force to be reckoned with. So we're excited to see what you guys come up with this year. Feel free to, toss us your ideas. If anyone has anything, also Nina touched on this earlier, but if anyone has anything that's coming up that's specific to like your team is hatching something up and you really just kind of want to get the word out there, by all means, let me know, because, that's what our social media is intended for. And we can share, that there's a Pampered Chef party coming up that benefits, the walk, or trivia night, or really whatever you guys have cooking. Let us help spread the word. We're more than happy to do that. That's like what we exist for, is supporting you guys. So by all means, let us know. But hopefully we'll have, you haven't seen the last of the promotions or the prizes or the ideas, and so we're very excited about this year. We think that, I think Rich basically said it, I think that some of the momentum that we have from this year and some of the tools that we're learning, such as Fundraising Fridays, can really benefit us in years to come when we maybe hopefully can be back together. But I think we'll just be all the stronger for it, and we'll find new ways to engage with people and new ways to connect. And so I really think it will serve us in the long run. for the better. So we're excited to hear everybody's big ideas coming up and see there's already a really great start. I check Classy multiple times a day, and I always get excited when I see a new donation or a new team or a new team member. And we're all moving in the right direction. So we're just trying to keep it going. Sunday will be our 8-week countdown. So it's happening. And as we get closer, you'll even start to see more. We have some like challenges that we're going to put out there for both individuals and for teams to kind of really feel like they're together even if they're not. And so definitely stay tuned. I think what I'll do is I'll set up another Fundraising Friday for 2 weeks from today. So the last Friday of the month, I was going to set up another one, and I'll put it on Facebook and send it an email again. And I have a couple of other really creative experts, if you will, that wanted to share. So we'll be able to hear some new ideas that we didn't hear today. And then, if any of you can join us, if any of you want to share, we would love that. Or, if you just want to listen in or have questions. But yeah, we have just so many really creative teams and team members. So we'll have a whole new batch of ideas to share. And don't feel like you need to save your questions for then by any means. You can always reach out. I threw my email address into the chat, although most of you probably have it already. But never hesitate. You guys are our top priority, honestly. So we appreciate you very much.
Sarah, is there something you have to share?
No, just to kind of piggyback on the asking topic, that's, virtual fundraising has kind of been our niche the entire time we've been doing this. We send out email blasts and a lot of social media posts, and we ask. This year, I'm kind of going with the theme of, it doesn't really matter where we're walking, we're still all fighting together kind of thing. So just the general theme of the email blast, which we just sent out yesterday, just internally here, that went out to our employees and sales reps. And we have people all over the country. So the feedback we're getting is, those employees of ours are really excited to be able to join us this year. They can go walk too, with their family and things like that. So we've already, I think we're up to $1,000 just in the 20 hours that I sent out. So
what team are you talking about there?
That's awesome.
What's the team?
Team Absolute.
They're our business challenge winner last year. So they're
sits next to me every day. So
they know what they're doing for sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And Sarah, if you're free for the next time we host one of these, might be nice too for teams to hear about what you guys have done in the past, because I think your point is a really good one, that like virtual fundraising isn't a new concept, right? Like the virtual walk is for us, but we've always fundraised online. So, I think it's important for people to see that like that piece of it doesn't necessarily have to be reinventing the wheel. So, if you're free and if you're willing, I would love to have you talk about, some more about how you guys just kind of, readopted what you have done in the past, and, if you had to make adjustments or whether you were able to just kind of keep it going.
Sarah, I think you make a really good point that fundraising is usually done virtually. I know people hold events and they can't hold their fundraising events, but there are other ways to raise money virtually, and you've been doing it for years, so that would be a great topic to start off our next meeting.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
we all know that pretty much everybody in the world has been touched by cancer, either directly or indirectly. So making that ask is really not hard. Sure, they can say no, but I would definitely go with the option of allowing them to say no, because it has touched so many people, and they know the importance of the research. There are so many people here today because of the past research, and we want to make everybody that survivor. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Does anyone have any sort of like final reflections or words of wisdom that they wanted to leave the group with?
I just had one quick note, kind of piggybacking on what Nanette was just talking about. There's a lot of people that, are in a bad place and can't afford to make a donation right now. But one thing we're kind of pushing is it doesn't cost anything to share on your social media, share the link, tell people, email, there's a lot of things you can do that, doesn't cost a thing. So just,
Right. And share their stories of how they've been touched by cancer may pull on someone's heartstrings that can afford.
Like that. So there's just ways that everybody can help and kind of be a part of it, regardless of your situation right now.
Very good point.
That's a great point. Yeah, because there are absolutely free ways that you can help spread the message and support the teams. Like you said, sharing on social media is like exponentially successful. We all know that. So even if you can't contribute financially, everyone can, share a link or a post or, so I'm glad you mentioned that as well. Yeah.
And feel free to wear your team shirts at our next meeting.
By all means, or perhaps your team mask if they've arrived in time. Thank you everyone so much for joining. This was just such a really helpful and fun and interesting, way to spend the time. So I can't say how much I appreciate all of your efforts as well as your time. But
our fearless chair, do you have any motivating closing words?
Me?
Yes. You are our fearless chairperson.
I thought this was everyone got to bring their own craft beer. There's no craft beer. That's all I was here.
We need to do an after hours fundraising meeting.
I said next one, yeah, we need a happy hour.
I made fun of Julie originally because she had no art on the wall behind her, so she put a backdrop, but I think we have to get Erin a light bulb. Don't you think?
Yeah.
I
know. It's, Rich, it is a struggle in my house. I have a 10-week-old puppy. I have a 5-year-old kid. If I want quiet, I gotta be in the dark room.
She's actually in her bedroom closet right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes.
I am Harry Potter.
We foster animals for the Animal Rescue League, and yesterday we picked up feral kittens. You've never heard the kinds of sounds that come out of these animals.
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking for a puppy or a dog if you have one.
Oh, puppy.
Not so much a puppy, like a 2 to 5 year old dog. Small.
Like a 4.5-year-old golden retriever named Vinny, maybe.
It's for my parents. They just recently lost their beloved dog, and we're desperately searching to find them a new one because I think it was more of an emotional dog for them.
Yeah, smaller.
Small, under like 35 pounds or under. I mean, I foster and own retired greyhounds. They're my favorite. So we flew to Ireland last year just to bring greyhounds home with us. So that was my vacation. So, but I am looking for a dog for my parents.
Wow, good to know.
I'll keep my eyes out. Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely.
We need to bring your pet to fundraising day.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah.
Something on social media.
I've got to wear leather gloves up to my elbows to hold the kittens, but I can bring them.
Well,
T-shirt on your pet day.
Yeah.
That's another silver lining of a virtual walk is for the first time ever, your pets are allowed.
Yeah, hey, that's wonderful.
Well, thank you everyone so much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Have a great, safe weekend.
Thank you.
Good. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.